Well, thank you for having me tonight. See a lot of familiar faces here. This is going to be pretty short and sweet. This is my third term that I'm running. 2011, when I originally started as commissioner, I gave you guys a promise, 3 terms. So at the end of this term, I'll be leaving. I don't believe that politics should be a profession. I'm not leaving out of here with a pension. I'm leaving out of here with, 12 years of service. And, I've served as a police officer for the majority of my life in law enforcement. So I have owned a successful business here in the county. I've got a store in Cheselin, a store in Middlefield. I don't think that anybody would question my position on the Second Amendment, being that it's a firearms operation. So we'll be able to just pass that section up. But listen, I've come on from 2011 when I started. I self-funded my own campaign. Not saying that braggingly like I'm Mr. Big Bucks, but I did that because I felt that I didn't want any influence as far as making decisions, and I had nobody to have to commit to as far as any promises or anything, and I've maintained that throughout. So it's a situation that it's given me the ability to make good decisions and hold people accountable when it's needed to be done. Fortunate enough, I've had some good commissioners to serve with. I've learned from some people that you may not even think that we're good commissioners, but everybody's got good strong points and weak points. But at the end of the day, you learn every day, and I still learn today. Had a great opportunity. Where's Skip at? Right there, who was probably one of the most confrontational and commissioners, but I always had the utmost respect for him because of the fact that he held true and blue to his principles, and I always admired that about him, and I truly miss him, and I learned a lot. But at the end of the day here, we've done a lot. When I came into the commissioner's office, it seemed to be a place that, I won't say that they printed money or they were carelessly spending, but they were spending without a plan. And there was about a $6.5 million deficit. And today we have over $10 million in surplus. And that, thank you. And I can't take that credit all myself. Obviously, I was an integral part of creating a plan of responsible spending and doing the things that needed to be done, making decisions that weren't always putting me as the popular guy. But ultimately, I can't take that credit all myself. It was across the board with all of our county officials, from the department heads that we had, to our Jobs and Family Services, to our Department on Aging, to our Sheriff's Office. Everybody pretty much started to do more with less, and everybody tightened their belt. So this is not about, if anybody comes up here and says that it's I is not in the word team, and it comes down to having the ability of organizing and working with others for the right reason. So the credit doesn't necessarily come to me or the other 2 commissioners, but to everybody that worked together. So thank you. I guess my time is out, but I appreciate you guys having me here.
Are there any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
What exactly does that money, where is that money going to
Hold
go
on.
to? The $10 million?
So she's asking, where does that money go to, the 10 million that's in surplus? So when we came on to the commissioners, when I started at the commissioner's office, prior to me, it would have been with Mary Samiti, I believe with Bill Young. What they did was they had purchased 35 acres in the city of Chardon with the foresight of consolidating offices. So with that being said, they made a smart move in doing that, because at this point in time you could understand that their vision was correct. So what we looked at is from when we started, we realized we immediately did an assessment on what we're spending on our office space, and it's ridiculous. We've got buildings that are extremely outdated. We've got 12 boilers. We've got I don't know how many air conditioning units. All this stuff is outdated. The efficiency in the buildings is terrible. So what we started to do, we looked at the assessment of what is it that we're spending, and where could we be? And the other part of it is also we serve 90-some thousand people. We'll know the current number after the census, but 90,000 plus people that live in Geauga County. And to having the office space where we have it and having it spread out all over the place didn't make sense. So the plan was exactly that, to stick with the plan that we weren't going to, raise any kind of a tax or levy any dollars from the public to try to do this, but rather do stuff in the sense of bringing the buildings to the point that we could consolidate everything to make it a one central location, efficiency, long-term use, and being able to be something that is user-friendly and smart. And what we did with part of that is we sold the Jobs and Family Services building to University Hospital, which with that we're going to be bringing in, they're predicting between 150 to 220 jobs just in that unit there, which is going to bring income to the county. It's going to create jobs. It's going to keep our residencies, with good, educated, higher level paying people also to be able to live in this county. And in addition to that, we ended up selling the Department on Aging to Ravenwood because they've been crying for space. So we made some incredible deals. University Hospital paid us over $1.5 million for a building that's appraised at about $700,000. In my book, that's a deal that you've got to take. And what can we do now to be able to get that advanced forward? So these are the things, and the media does a good job in getting the message out. It's a situation that unfortunately we don't get everybody at our meetings and follow what we're doing, but we're our work in progress every day, and we're focused on the people of this county. But it's not about us at this point in time. It's about making the right decisions for years to come. And that's what it comes down to. So the money that you're asking me about, and this is a long answer to your question, is that this money is going to be utilized so that we can forward that money to not have long-term debts. And we don't want to be in a position that we were when I went into the office.
But what would the debts be for? For the county offices? You mean?
So we are going to have to finance something, but our Moody rating is incredible here in Geauga County, so we can borrow money probably for less than 0.5%. But it's a situation where we will have those funds that we're basically transferring into a development fund, that we will be able to lay down that amount of dollars and have enough for reserve. Because listen, you don't know day to day. Look at the coronavirus that's going on. What could happen in our county that we would have to potentially have to fast track and be able to do something? I could tell you this: you go to Cuyahoga County or go to Portage or Trumbull, Ashtabula, and go and ask them if they've got money in their savings account to be able to react to stuff. I could probably tell you here, with our EMA, with our security forces, with our fire officers that are all throughout the county and the plans that we have in place, we have the dollars and we have the availability of people to do something. And that just doesn't come by not being responsible. But we have that reserve. And if you don't plan for that, what's the famous say? You fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's the reality of it. So
Hold on,